Hi, Reggie back speaking about healing America's narratives. We're in chapter 11, taking a look at some of the collective tools and resources and approaches and ways of being that might serve us moving in our healing direction. So we began speaking about Hare and Wood's book, Survival of the Friendliest, in our previous episode. We're going to continue with that here briefly. They introduce a concept called theory of mind, which very, very briefly refers to our ability to attribute thoughts, beliefs, values, and intentions to ourselves and others. It's how we try to interpret a facial expression or an ambiguous comment or an aberrant behavior by assessing whether it was just generally rude, the result of a bad day on the part of someone, or an intentional microaggression. So again, they refer to that as theory of mind, how we try to attribute intention to what we experience. And basically, it's how we tend to cooperate with and trust others in the absence of explicit statements. So when somebody doesn't say, "You can trust me," or "I love you," it's how we can kind of feel into where they are toward us with regard to trust or love. They also refer to self-domestication, and as they use it, they say it's the result of natural selection. You can hear the Darwinian flavor there, where the selection pressure, however, is on friendliness, either toward a different species or toward our own. So theory of mind and self-domestication. They remind us, again, the authors remind us that Darwin himself wrote that survival of the fittest, which is the common phrase used by people who refer to Darwin, emerged, quote, as a proxy for the term natural selection. And that both terms, both survival of the fittest and natural selection, refer to what is optimum for bringing viable offspring into the world. Right? So again, what do we need to do to continue our species? And they cite Darwin's observation that, quote, those communities which included the greatest numbers of the most sympathetic members would flourish best and rear the greatest number of offspring. The word fittest, and I'm again reading from my own work here, citing both Darwin and Hare and Woods, when fittest is interpreted as the strongest, most dominant, or most aggressive, the idea of fitness then can make for a terrible survival strategy. It can set us up for a lifetime of stress. It can make life nasty, brutish, and short. Right? Consistent, however, with Hare and Woods favoring friendliness over physical dominance, Ken Wilber notes that in The Descent of Man, Darwin mentions the, quote, survival of the fittest twice, the word love 95 times, and the words moral sensitivity 92 times. So it seems as though over a period of time, the collective popular reduction of Darwin's message is perhaps another manifestation of the unhealthy masculine that we've been speaking about. Okay, so again, the title of Hare and Wood's book, Survival of the Friendliness, is a commentary on how Darwin's work has been interpreted. And in fact, we will tend to thrive more and thrive longer if we interpret fitness as friendliness and a sympathetic connection with others, as opposed to physical strength, dominance, and aggression. Right? There's a whole different view of it. And this is a book that is completely research-based. Again, Hare and Woods are both professors and researchers at Duke University. So again, thank you for tuning in. I know these last few episodes have been a little bit technical as I'm sharing with you some things that I actually learned in my own research, but it's tying in again to what we need to do in our families, in our local communities, in our states, and as a nation, if we are at all serious about healing these diverse combative narratives that pervade our American culture right now, and to really recognize, own, and integrate our collective shadow as well. So thank you, as always, for tuning in.